to back to basketball as we have a coach that is once again in the regional finals. It is Carey Palermo of Mooney. Coach, we told you you'd be back. Here you are.
Yes, sir. Happy to see you guys.
I mean, he said we might be a good luck charm. I don't
Maybe.
know. I wasn't buying into it until now. Now I'm starting to buy into it.
You
Mooney.
are. We're not changing any routine, man. 140 day before the game. Love it.
I mean, Coach, first and foremost, I want to just talk about the composure of your boys the other night too, and just the composure they've had this entire run. Talk to me about just what you've seen about composure wise, maturity wise from this group of guys, as well as just some of these younger players, your Ashton OBrien, your Rocco Turners that have really stepped up down the stretch.
Well, I mean, it's really we've seen them grow the entire year. We have obviously I've told you this before. We have a very senior laden team. 6 of our top 9 players are seniors. They've seen it all. This isn't their first time in the regional. We play a very, very tough schedule, so we're exposed to, many different styles of basketball. Pressing teams that want to slow it down, and we talk about that a lot. We've been through, teams like Campbell who are, very long, very athletic and pressure. Like we played Cheney early in the year. We played Cheney for 8 quarters. I think we won 7 of those quarters against them, or 6 of the 8 quarters. We beat them the first time by double digits. They beat us the second time by double digits. We kind of let it get away, took some quick shots and whatnot. But it's really a true testament to them, our leadership, our seniors, our point guard Mick really makes sure that the rest of the team understands what we're looking for them. And those kids are hungry. They want to win. They don't care what their role on the team is. If we lay forth the game plan, every game, and a couple practices leading up to the game, they buy into it and they do the best they can to execute it to the best of their ability. And I'm going to say this, and I'm not. This isn't taking a shot at anybody, like anything. I don't care how people run their program and do their things, but we have 17 guys right now still practicing with us, 15 that we can dress. They're all kids that have been at Mooney since day one. So they understand our system. They understand every drill we're doing in practice. Everything's like clockwork to these kids. So they're not really fazed by anything.
And one of the terms that I would use to describe this game and the way you guys played, stay the course, was kind of probably one of the mottos for this game against Campbell. There were a lot of opportunities for you guys to get impatient or start to get a little bit jittery, and try to do maybe some things out of your comfort zone. But you guys stayed patient the whole game. You never kind of played into Campbell's tempo. Talk about how proud you are of these guys, not just executing a game plan, but executing it consistently for 4 quarters against a team that really hasn't had that yet. I mean, every team that plays them has kind of fallen into that trap, and
Again,
you guys haven't.
It goes back to our schedule. We play against quality competition night in and night out. So when they went on their run early in the first quarter, nobody panicked. We called a timeout just to get him into his zone. We wanted to see Campbell make a few passes before they took a shot. They went on a run beginning of third quarter. We made one tiny adjustment to our pressure. Once we got a bucket, we didn't really make much the first couple, first 5 minutes of the third quarter. Once we were able to see the ball go in the hoop, we were able to set up our press, and they turned the ball over. Again, I know everyone sees it as an upset, and I know Campbell had an outstanding season. They're a great team, great players. Nick Canarino did a great job coaching this year. Our players didn't see it as that. Our players went in that game thinking they were the favorite. Same thing against Springfield. Again, we know that our record, even though we were 13-9, I think that's a pretty respectable record with our schedule. There's teams that played in Division II this year that played the same schedule that we did and had a similar record, and got a little bit higher seed than us. That's fine for whatever reason. The schools in our district voted us a little bit down, and I get that. I'm not going against that, but our schedule prepared us for this moment. So, I'm very proud of our kids, but when they laid forth their goals at the beginning of the year, they planned on getting back to this game, with a chance to play against a state power, a true state power like Lutheran East.
Coach, I got a 2-part question for you. First and foremost, the Ashton OBrien 3 that put you guys up and kept you guys up. I want you to talk about his journey from all the way beginning of the year to that shot and being able to take that shot in that moment. And the winding seconds, I saw you getting excited too as the winding seconds ticked off that clock, talking about what went through your head at that moment when you realized you're going to the regional final.
Well, we were begging Ashton to really like be more aggressive the first 3 quarters. Ashton's a really talented kid. He puts a lot of time into it. I mean, all of our players do. You know, you don't get to where we're at, the final 8 teams left in our division. We're the only area boys team left. We're the only team playing this weekend. Everybody's at home. They're turning their uniforms in. You don't get there without a complete buy-in from your entire program, without kids like Ashton that, you know, get in there, get in the gym. They make 500 to 1,000 shots a day. Doesn't work that way. I was very happy for him because he had a turnover, an uncharacteristic turnover that he had in the middle of the 4th quarter, and he kind of hung his head a little bit. And, you know, our guys are picking him up, and, you know, we kind of reminded him, hey, man, like, we're going to need you to make a big shot. And he snapped right out of it real quick. Literally the next possession, Campbell tried pressuring us. I got the ball in the high post. Jackson Mino made a great ball fake to lift Ashton's defender. He found Ashton in the corner, and Ashton buried it. I don't think it's caught any part of the rim. And my joy I had for him and our entire team that moment, I haven't really felt that. No, I shouldn't say that. I felt that a number of times for our team. I'm very happy with everything we've accomplished the last couple of years. I don't think many teams this area, if you look at the wins we've had the past 3 years over the teams we've had, I'd put that up against anybody in the area. As far as the last couple seconds of the game, just seeing the joy on those kids' faces, getting to the next step, getting the Elite Eight. You know, Mooney hadn't won a regional game since, I believe, 1998. So that's a long time. But knowing that they took down the 1 seed, the 2 seed, and the 4 seed in our district, because again, you know, I knew we'd be like a 4 or 5 seed coming into the tournament. But when I told the kids that we were the 5, they felt very disrespected. They felt very slighted. They took that personal. They took that very personal. I have a very smart team. They read the newspapers. They look at social media to see what people are saying about them. They really feed off that. I love every second of it, giving those kids motivation. And they're just a tough, gritty group. And that's how I was just very, very happy for them.
They Michael Jordan it.
Oh, yeah.
Personally.
I got to figure that they have to have a chip on their shoulder going into this matchup, though, with Lutheran East, because, I mean, for a lot of people, the casual basketball fans look at the score last year, and they're going to look at that last year and think that Lutheran East has the advantage in going it. And again, Lutheran East, great basketball team, but these are also 2 very different teams than they were last year.
They are
this matchup and preview it a little bit for us.
They are. They're a different team. They're last year they were a very senior laden team. They had 6 seniors, 2 went Division I colleges, 1 went to Georgetown, 4 signed scholarships to Division II colleges. With that being said, they're still the best team we're going to play this year by far. You know, probably Boardman or Erie McDowell, 2 of the best teams we've played this year. Maybe Ursuline is up there. But they're by far the best team that we're going to play this year. So it's going to be, we know it's going to be a very, very tough task. We also know we can compete with them. We can win. We also know there's about 4 or 5 things that we have to do really well to give ourselves a chance to win this game. And if we don't do one of them well, they can extend the lead on us pretty quickly if we don't do them well, if we don't do it well, for a whole 32 minutes. If we don't take care of the ball for a 2-minute stretch, they can extend the lead out. If we don't rebound for a 2-minute stretch, they can extend the lead out. If we're not taking open shots when we have them, and if you pass up open shots, you might not get another one in that possession. If we don't take advantage of that, they can extend the lead on us pretty quickly. We understand that, but our kids want this game. Last year, I got to be honest, we were kind of happy to be there, and like you guys said, they're kind of a different animal. I'm not saying it's any less of a task. They're very good. They're one of, regardless of division, they're probably one of the top 25 teams in our entire state. And Ohio is a very good basketball state, but there's no team in this area that can compare to a Lutheran East. It's not even close. I think you guys saw that last night when Cheney played St. Vincent St. Mary's. There's just no teams that we have in this area that have that kind of size, depth, and athletic ability.
Now, you guys have embodied the phrase defense wins championships these last 3 games, especially in the tournament. You mean Campbell averaged 70 a game. You held them to 41. Talk about this defense and how much you're kind of going to need it on Saturday against Lutheran East.
Well, I know I sound like a broken record, but the schedule prepares us for this because we play against really good basketball players. We spend a lot of time defensively in practice. Our first 30 to 45 minutes of every practice, the first 15 minutes are defensive fundamentals. Breakdown drills. It could be anything from closeouts. We press, so we do a lot of sprint slide drills. We do a lot of stuff with pick and roll. A lot of teams like to do high screen and roll, side screen and roll. We work a lot on backside rotations. We spend a lot of time on it. Then we do a lot of team defense. Then we do transition defense before we even talk about offense. As far as what we need for Saturday night, we've been getting great defensive efforts. This needs to be better. The further you go in the tournament, you're going to play better teams. It needs to get better. Hopefully playing against a team like this brings the best out of every player on our team.
The beautiful thing about basketball, and what I've said about this consistently all year, is you don't need the best basketball players necessarily to be a great basketball team. And what I mean by that, what I saw against Campbell and what I've seen a lot during this whole run, you guys are undersized, but you guys have a lot of quick guards. And 2 things that require nothing but hustle, effort, and attention are defense and rebounding. And both things, I think you beat Campbell definitely in the first half, I think in the whole game, rebounding wise as well, undermanned in that one as well. Just talk about how proud you are about the effort level of your boys going into these games on both defense, rebounding, and consistently executing these game plans.
I'm extremely proud of that because like you guys hit the nail on the head. We're not the biggest team. We're not the longest team. According to all the so far the Northeast Ohio postseason accolade stuff, we don't have a first team player. We eliminated, and those players are well deserving of being on first team, but we eliminated 4 players and teams that made first team on the way to get to the regional final. So we have to do all the little things very well. We have to defend very well. We have to communicate very well. We have to box out very well. Most games, even when we box out consistently with all 5 players, we still lose the rebounding advantage. But we know if we could keep it close, that's good enough for us because we're going to force some turnovers and we'll gain some possessions that way. So we have to do that very well. A big thing for us is 50-50 balls. We joke about it in practice that we want to make those 80-20 balls, right? That we want to be 80% winning those, 20% the other team can have. But we feel like every time there's a crucial moment of the game and there's that, that live ball rebound, that 50-50 ball, it's on the ground. We want to beat you to the floor. We want to beat you to that. If it means we're going to get a bump or bruise, we're going to get bloody, we don't really care, because we know we have to do those things if we want to win. And that's what basketball is. Like, I don't think there's a player that when they start the game that doesn't want to be a 20-point scorer, that doesn't want to be, the guy that takes a shot at the end of the game. But the reality is not everybody's going to do that. And we feel that if we can make all of our players understand just how important all the other roles are in a basketball game and just how much you can impact the game, with playing hard, with communicating, with defending, with rebounding, by getting on the floor. That's how you build a championship team. That's how you build a championship culture. That's what we feel we have at Cardinal Mooney right now.
Coach, you are now officially representing the whole city of Youngstown when you go into these regional finals. We are rooting for you so much. Ty, I believe, will be there tomorrow for the call. We're going to Sharpie you in next week at 1:40 for a talk about the state tournament. How about that?
I'm really hoping, like I said, if we could do 5 or 6 things pretty well, I'm hoping that Friday at 1:40.
Let's go.
Or no, it's to be Thursday at 1:40. I'm talking to you before we're getting ready to have a last practice before we're on our way down to Dayton. But whatever, I just want to say one thing though. Whatever happens in this game, and I probably don't say this enough to my team, I'm extremely proud of them. I think they've overachieved. I think when you watch them play, if you're just a casual basketball fan, I think they're everything that you want in a team, regardless of the sport. They truly get it. They buy in. They care about one another. They're all straight A, A, B students, straight A students. They're all really good kids.
Coach, I've said it too on this show. When you get to this point, you're in the top 8 in the state. And I mean, there's nothing that can be taken away from that regardless at this point. So a lot of things to be proud of with this team, but we hope we can talk about a trip to Dayton in their future here.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, Coach.